From humble origins to one of the most powerful cities on Earth, this is the story of Shanghai. Welcome back to the channel. And today, we are gonna take you through the history of the amazing city of Shanghai and its evolution over the past 300 years from a humble fishing village to China's biggest and most important city. We hope you enjoy this episode as much as we enjoyed making it for you. In 1700, Shanghai was nothing more than a small town by the river. It was a time when China was ruled by the Qing dynasty and was known as the Middle Kingdom. At that time, Shanghai was located on the lower reaches of the Yangtze River and was surrounded by swamps, lakes, and creeks. Because of its location, the people who lived there survived on fishing and farming rice. They also had a large trade in salt. Despite being situated in such an ideal spot for trade, the city remained quiet. There were no factories, no skyscrapers, and not much in the way of foreign trade. All that would come later. In 1700, Shanghai was a part of a region known as Jiangsu, which was already quite prosperous. However, Shanghai itself was a small and quiet place. Imagine it as a sleepy fishing village where life moved at a slower pace. So how did this small fishing village transform into one of the most important cities in the world? Let's find out. The Treaty of Nanjing in 1842. The year is 1800 and the world is changing fast. For the past century, Western nations have been obsessed with Chinese silk, tea, and porcelain. The demand was so high they had to smuggle it in, but the Chinese weren't having it. They banned opium to stop the flow of silver leaving the country. Of course, the British didn't like this very much, and so the Opium Wars began. As everyone knows, guns and ammunition always win over farming tools. Within 2 years, China lost the war. In fact, they lost so badly they had to sign a treaty giving up their claim to the South China Sea and letting foreigners come into Chinese ports. This treaty would change the course of history. For centuries, Chinese society had been isolated from the rest of the world, but now the floodgates were open. Soon after the signing of the treaty, British, French, and American merchants arrived in Shanghai and saw huge potential in the city. They began trading in the port area, buying rice, tea, and other Chinese goods. This sudden influx of foreigners was a massive shock to the locals. The sleepy fishing village was about to wake up and become one of the most important cities in the world. Shanghai in 1900. Shanghai in 1900 was indeed a bustling metropolis. It was during this time that it gained its nickname, the Paris of the East. The reason for this was because of its resemblance to the fashionable and dynamic city of Paris. Shanghai had become a melting pot of cultures with a mix of Chinese, British, French, American, and other European influences. When the French concession was established in 1899, it brought with it a wave of new ideas and innovations. The French designed and built grand boulevards, parks, and public buildings, including the iconic Astor Hotel. These structures were reminiscent of the grandeur of Paris, hence the nickname. During this time, the city was also home to the first trams in China, as well as some of the first banks and modern hotels. In fact, it was considered to be one of the most important financial centers in Asia. However, beneath this glamorous surface, there was a darker side to the city. The wealth and luxury of the international settlement and French concession starkly contrasted with the poverty and squalor of the areas outside these concessions. The laborers and servants who worked for the foreigners often lived in appalling conditions with rampant gambling, prostitution, and crime. Despite this, the city continued to grow and develop with new technologies and innovations. And by 1900, it was clear that Shanghai was becoming one of the most important cities in the world. Shanghai in 1949. By 1949, Shanghai had grown into a major industrial and commercial center of China. During the early 20th century, it was the largest city in the Far East and had become one of the main gateways between China and the outside world. The city was divided into 3 different areas at that time. The first was the international settlement, which was controlled by foreign powers and served as a hub for international trade and finance. The second was the French concession, which was a colonial area controlled by France. The third was the Chinese nationalist-controlled area. Each area had its own unique character and culture. In 1911, the Shanghai Revolution led to the end of the Qing dynasty and the establishment of the Republic of China. In 1932, the Japanese invaded and occupied parts of the city, leading to the Second Sino-Japanese War. These events had a profound impact on the city and its people. By 1949, the city was in ruins and had suffered greatly due to war and conflict. Despite this, it remained an important center of commerce and culture and was home to some of the most important figures in Chinese history. Some famous people in Shanghai at the time included the writer and poet Guo Moreau, the revolutionary leader Tsai Yuanpei, and the general and politician Du Yuming. These individuals played important roles in shaping the city's cultural and political landscape during this turbulent period. Overall, 1949 was a pivotal year for Shanghai. The end of the Chinese Civil War and the establishment of the People's Republic of China marked a turning point in the city's history. Shanghai in 2000. Shanghai in the year 2000 was a vibrant and dynamic city. It was the second largest city in China and had become a major hub for international trade, finance, and culture. The city's skyline had transformed into a symbol of modern China with towering skyscrapers, such as the Oriental Pearl Tower and the Jin Mao Tower dominating the horizon. Shanghai was also home to some of the most important financial institutions in China, such as the Shanghai Stock Exchange and the Bank of China. The city's population had grown to over 10 million people. It had become a melting pot of cultures from all over China and the world. Shanghai was also known for its thriving art and entertainment scene. The city was home to some of the most important museums and art galleries in China, as well as a vibrant music and theater scene. In addition to its cultural attractions, Shanghai was also home to some of the most important universities and research institutions in China. The Fudan University and the Shanghai Jiaotong University were some of the most prestigious universities in the country and attracted students from all over China and abroad. By the year 2000, Shanghai had become one of the most important cities in China and had established itself as a major player on the world stage. The city's skyline and financial institutions had transformed it into a symbol of modern China, and its cultural and educational attractions had made it a hub for young people and intellectuals. As China continued to grow and develop, Shanghai was poised to become even more important in the years to come. Shanghai in 2050. Shanghai in 2050 will likely be a futuristic and highly advanced city. It will continue to be a major hub for international trade, finance, and technology. One of the most significant developments in Shanghai in 2050 will be its focus on green technology and sustainability. The city will likely have implemented innovative solutions to reduce pollution and conserve energy, such as solar panels, wind turbines, and electric vehicles. Shanghai will also likely be a leader in artificial intelligence and robotics. Many experts predict that AI-powered systems will be commonplace in the city, from self